Transformed wife says the way to immediately fix the tanking birth rate is to make abortion a crime. So she is pro-teen pregnancy.
That's also that's not what happens. Actually, you know what's funny? So I did a video on this recently on the abortion rate, and I showed the rate of abortions in the United States over the past 30 or 40 years. And
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I can hear that in Patrick Stewart's voice. He kept on talking and talking in one long... this is not actual Patrick Stewart voice. This is him doing an impression of someone. But I can hear the words as he said them in that quote. So, yeah, go on.
So, when you look at the statistics for at least the United States over the past 50 years, you notice that the rate of abortions drop significantly after Roe v. Wade was passed. Literally a year after Roe v. Wade, the rate of abortions dropped. And then, do you want to know when the rate of abortions started to climb back up again? Right after Roe v. Wade was overturned. Right after Roe v. Wade was overturned.
Yeah.
If you want less abortions in the United States,
it has to be not just legal, it has to be easy to access.
If you want the real way to fix the tanking birth rate, and I can tell you what the way is statistically, you impoverish...
Immigration.
No. Statistically, you impoverish your country. If you impoverish your country...
the birth rate goes up.
The birth rate goes up.
Not just impoverish, specifically take rights away from women.
I mean, correlation, causation.
Even in countries that are not doing so well economically, when the women's rights are higher, the family numbers are lower.
Because they can do things like get a
women
career.
Women probably just don't want to be pregnant all the time. Yeah. Having lived with a pregnant person 3 times, it was not a pleasant experience.
Alito's grave will be one of the most fertilized spaces in existence.
Yeah, that it will.
In terms of how to manage this, in order to fix tanking birth rates, you have to put America in a worse situation such that the birth rates ceases being a problem, and people revolting and killing
driving a bunch of people out, as we saw in that previous news story, is not the way to do that.
And getting people to the point where they feel like they have nothing left to lose. So you just create a nation of people who are willing to engage in despoty. They're completely willing to just do things like, I don't know, kill government officials and overthrow the current system. If you want that, then sure, by all means, focus super hard on this tanking birth rate. But the birth rate goes down as a country's economic status goes up, as its access to human rights goes up, as you said. It just turns out that as you make things better for the people in your country, people stop having to have 5 to 10 fucking babies so that they can at least keep the family line going.
Mm-hmm. Also, if I were to be in my kid having years again with the current world and its current situation, I don't know that I would have any kids. It's even right now, my partner and I are kind of preparing to be we are going to always have at least 3 of our kids living with us at some point because we have a house and they do not. Houses are unattainable right now. Making what I made as a server, which I was making decent money as a server, I would not be able to buy a house right now. The cheapest house in Fort Erie, last time I checked, was $400,000. You don't make enough money to buy that house on minimum wage.
Nope.
And then I don't know how this is going to shake out economically, but it is always cheaper to mortgage than to rent. Mm-hmm. So given that I would not like I said, if I did not have the previous house, I wouldn't have this house because the housing prices went way too high. There's no chance I would have been able to afford this. If I had to pay full price for this house without being able to sell another house first, I just wouldn't be able to afford it. But more, and I'm not even saying not be able to afford, as in the bank won't give me the mortgage. I'm saying I would not be able to make that payment. But mortgages are always cheaper than rent. Where the fuck am I going to rent? So I don't know what my kids are going to do for housing.
Sidebar, can we just point out that it's very stupid, nightmarishly stupid, that renting always costs more than mortgaging. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
I mean, it makes a certain amount of sense because when you're not looking at it from the perspective of most of these things are giant real estate conglomerates that own a bunch of things and don't have to take out mortgages on them. When you look at it from the like guy who just bought a second house and is renting it out to someone thing, he has a mortgage on that second house and the rent has to be more than the mortgage in order for it to be profitable. From that perspective, it does make sense. I'm not saying it is ethically correct, but it makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think I considered the person's second house because I don't normally consider that scenario.
Yeah, no. Because, like, having one house at this point is starting from a position of privilege. 2 houses? Who has that kind of money anymore? People who are already rich. What do you know? Sirs, didn't you know that I need my pied-à-terre?
Claire Obscure...
I really need my pied-à-terre.
Claire Obscure has not yet convinced me that the French are people, and the more French you make yourself look, the more like a target you seem.
I'm Canadian. I'm not French. I just know some of
it. That's like French light. That's like
French.
French with less butter.
I'm Scottish. You know, the people who teamed up with the French to revolt against the English. Yeah, that's me. Hey, no, you know what? The French helped out the American Revolution too, so that you're just as tainted there as me.
Oh, I'm not saying I'm not. We're not talking about me right now.
Okay. Hey, one of my ancestors was an aide to General Wolfe, who was the British guy who came in and kicked all the French's asses, and that's why Quebec is a part of Canada now. So, yeah.
Okay.
My ancestors kicked French ass.
Hey, you made it to the end. I want to give an extra thanks to the patrons who allow me to do this full time. I want to thank Aaron Rail, Astral, Britzkrieg, Jemshin, Poundini, Red Joker, Victoria, Jonas, Craig, Tarika, Fireshard, Smiling GM, John, Dren Hadamada, Creeper, Sagitt, you know I'm not saying that last part, Sylvie Snow, Valis of Seraph, Ottoman Angel, Rooster Rachel, and Fire Panda, who are all my $20 and up patrons.